particular day, we want to congratulate our graduates and their awesome accomplishments. So, on behalf of Reverend Dr. Willie J. Keaton, the session, the deacon board, and the whole entire Mount Olive Church family, we want to extend a warm congratulations to you. At this time, I will be reading scripture, and we're reading from Jeremiah, the 29th chapter, verse 11 through 14. For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. Then you will call upon me and come and pray to me, and I will hear you. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. I will be found by you, says the Lord. At this time, we'll pray. Father God, we thank you for this day, Lord God. Again, Lord God, we just cannot say thank you enough for the awesome achievements of our graduates, of all of our youth, Lord God. We thank you for keeping them throughout this year, Lord God, keeping them safe from all harm, hurts, evils, and dangers, Lord God. We thank you for keeping their minds stayed on you, Lord God. Lord God, as our graduates journey on to college life, Lord God, we ask that you please continue to watch over them, Lord God. Let them be able to have those friends that are godly friends, that be positive in their lives, Lord God. Again, Lord God, we say thank you. And as we end this pandemic, Lord God, we thank you for keeping this church, Lord God, although we wanted to be back in this building, Lord God. But let us know that the church has never closed. So, God, we thank you, Lord God. We cannot say thank you enough, Lord God. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Bless your name. You know, despite COVID-19, despite the unrest that we are experiencing right now, the Bible says, in everything give thanks, for this is the will of God. And so today we want to say thank you, God, for our graduates. We're thanking God for you today, for all he's done, for all he's doing, and for all he's about to do. You haven't seen the best. The best is yet to come. So today we say thank you, God. Thank you, Lord, for all you've done. Tragedies are commonplace. All kinds of diseases, people are slipping away. Economy's down and getting enough pay. But as for me, all I can say is thank you, Lord, for all you've done for me. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Those without homes, living out in these streets, with drug habits they say that they can't beat. Murderers and robbers, no place to be safe. But you been my protection every step of the way. Never say thank you, Lord, for all you've done for me.
Before I get into my speech, it would be wrong if I didn't get up here and say a few thank yous. First and foremost, I would like to thank God for everything He has done for me. If it was not for Him, I promise you I would not be standing here right now. I also like to thank my parents for all the love and support they've given me over the years. Words cannot express how much I appreciate them. I also like to thank Mount Olive for being my church home for the last few years and giving me a platform to showcase my talent on the drum set. And it wouldn't be right if I got up here and said thank you without saying thank you to my boy Darren for being like a big brother to me and mentoring me on the drum set. I don't plan to be up here long, but today I'll be speaking from the topic, Black Lives Matter, and we will change the future if we lead by example. People often ask me, what's the highlight of my high school career, or what's one thing I'm going to always remember about high school? And for me, that's easy because one thing that highlighted my high school career was the Hopewell High School Titanium Sound Marching Band. During my time with the Titanium Sound, I was section leader from 2017 to 2019 and head drum major from 2019 to 2020. One of the first things I learned as a leader in the band is people are more likely to follow someone that is leading by example. That same concept is reflected in 1 Timothy chapter 4, verses 12, saying, "Let no one despise you for your youth, but set the believers an example in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity." So as a section leader, I couldn't ask my section to do something that I wasn't able to do myself. For example, if I wanted them to march harder, I would have to march harder. If I wanted them to play harder, I would have to play harder. So few of you may be thinking, how does leading by example correlate with Black Lives Matter movement and everything that's kind of going on right now in the world? Well, we can't expect other races to treat us with respect if we don't treat each other with respect. We want unity with other races, we must unite amongst ourselves. We can't win the war of racism if we're too busy fighting each other. So as a race, we need to start treating our brothers and sisters with a lot more respect. So in closing, like I said, we need to lead by example, or as my generation likes to say, you gotta walk it how you talk it. So I'm just leave y'all off with Black Lives Matter, and we will change the future if we lead by example. I'd also like to announce that I'll proudly, in the fall, be attending North Carolina Central University to study music education. Thank you.
To be a Black woman in America. To be a Black single mother in America. To be a Black single mother with a goal in America. It is hard, no argument there. There is an expectation that should you be passionate about anything, we're labeled as angry. Do not dare enunciate any portion of your speech. You're uppity or bourgeois, bougie for y'all youngins. However, as Black women in America in the year of our Lord 2020, being a Black woman is a badge of honor. What other woman is seemingly hated and put down while also being the most educated in our country? Resilient in tough times, and can make a way out of no way. We prosper in adverse situations, and if you have not had that experience, maybe it's coming. Graduates, Mount Olive family, and guests, I want to first congratulate you on a tremendous milestone. There are so many that either do not reach this point in their lives for whatever reason. There is an amazing support system here, and know that Mount Olive will always be home. Remember that. Secondly, thank you for allowing me this opportunity to share my story. While I can't promise brevity, I can promise you that y'all will get a little bit of this Black girl magic today. There are three very important characteristics that we as Black women awaken at some point in our lives. The first being confidence, the second, courage, and lastly, influence. I've encountered each of these through troubling times in my life, and I'll spare you the gory details, but I want to talk about how each of these has influenced my personal goals. Confidence is defined as a feeling of self-assurance arising from one's appreciation of one's own abilities or qualities. Now, please don't confuse this with conceit, which is another label that is given to learned Black women that have put in tremendous effort into owning their abilities. I graduated from Northwest School of the Arts in 2005. Now, I don't know what y'all were doing about 15 years ago, but I was standing in this very spot over there in my Black graduation regalia, looking forward to leaving home and enjoying my time at East Carolina University, happily to immerse myself in all things purple and gold as any respectable pirate would do. I began furthering my music acumen as an education major. However, being in a white, male-dominant tuba studio, which a studio, for those that don't know, is sort of like a herd of other musicians at various levels under the same tutelage. But being the only Black female, I was often overlooked. While my technical abilities matched that of my peers, there was immense isolation. With the roadblocks that I endured, my confidence took a big hit. I didn't believe in myself and I needed change. Not on a whim, and I say that lightly because when I say a whim, I mean 3 years I spent mulling this over. I applied for an internship with Disney and in October of my junior year, and 3 months later I was in Orlando, warm and enjoying my life. 2009 was a pivotal year for me. When I anticipated my turn to East Carolina, I changed majors. Music education was no longer my interest, and for some reason, I just knew switching to performance was going to fix things. I could finish up my degree and become a starving artist with a lovely student loan balance. Yay! I digress. I made what seemed like a heartbreaking decision to change majors as a second semester junior. There were other factors that fed my decision, like the whole No Child Left Behind, school funding being cut, the fact that I played tuba and it was in short supply. Take a pick. It took courage to completely start over, but that is what I did. It wasn't easy, but I did it with a smile. I got to where I was a junior yet again, 2 semesters away from having my degree in hospitality management, specializing in special events and conventions. And it was snatched away from me. I would have to pay out of pocket at this point, and I couldn't afford it. Not to work and take care of my bills, I felt incredibly empty, and I felt like a loser, but I didn't give up. I did have to pay back East Carolina to get back into school. Obviously, I got around it. March of last year, I re-enrolled, but not in hospitality management, but university studies. I was able to tailor my experiences to fit within guest services and made that my concentration. So instead of 2 full semesters, 32 weeks, I just had 9 classes that I needed to take care of. 9 classes, and I will have finished what I started over a decade ago. Now, if there's one thing that you manage well outside of money, let it be your mental health. I had a breakdown. It was a serious one. It was bad, but I got up. When I came home, classes began 2 weeks later. Last summer, like not even a year ago, I took 5 house level classes while working full time and juggling additional work responsibilities and being a single mom. I passed them all with no less than a B. But I tell you, that was the longest 8 weeks. Whew. The break between the summer and fall semesters felt like I hit a brick wall, but I kept going. The next 16 weeks were intense, another full load, but eventually December came. My best friend, Jessica, you know the one that looks like me, has been my biggest cheerleader through all of this. She inspired me to get things together and go for my goals. The best advice that I can give you in your journey is to find a mentor. Someone that is where you want to be and will lend a hand to pull you up. As a black woman in America, sometimes it is hard to come by this type of woman. But understand, she's out there. She is. She won't make a fuss about straightening your crown. She will support you and provide guidance both with your career and life in general. Foster your relationship with her. She will be one of your biggest allies. Pray through your situations earnestly. I mean, ugly cry, snot, wheeze, let it come from the heart. But leave it in God's hands and let Him work it out. I did it. So what's next? I mean, I know you didn't ask, but I asked for you. I started a Master's of Science program in organizational leadership. I love what I do now, working in higher education, and recently I was given the opportunity to get a first-hand look at the career path I'm interested in. Give it about 5 years in total, and I will be Dr. Joshlyn Walton because I'm seeking a philosophy in educational leadership. As a black woman in America, a strong black single mother, a persevering and praying single mother rooted in faith, not only am I an unstoppable force, but so are you. You're about to enter into a new and unforgiving realm, but you'll be fine. You'll be knocked down, but it's temporary. Get back up. Keep your head up, and never let anyone diminish your light. Never. Find your confidence, exercise your courage, and utilize your influence benevolently. Thank you so much for allowing me to share. I love you all, and I wish you the best of luck in your endeavors.
Good morning, I'm Olive. Some may not recognize my face, but others may, as I take the opportunity as a new member to introduce myself to the congregation. My name is Jazmyn Williams, a proud graduate from Maracas Middle College High School, where I walked away earning my high school diploma as well as my Associates of Arts degree, as I worked this summer to become a licensed natural hair care specialist. Long nights and hard days, but dedication and ambition helped me get to where I am today. But I cannot forget the people that also helped me get to where I am today. I would like to thank God for getting me to this point in my life, because without Him, I don't know where I would be. And I would like to thank my mom for always being my rock and my support system throughout all the years, as she worked so hard being a single mother, a black single mother in America. She worked endlessly and tirelessly every single day and every single night to do everything she could to make sure my dreams were accomplished. And I would also like to thank everyone at Mount Olive that welcomed me with open arms as I walked into my journey to become a member. I end this chapter to open a new one, as I am excited to be attending North Carolina Central University in the fall, majoring in business to later attend law school. Nervous but ready to enter this next chapter to fulfill my full potential and to make everyone proud of me. To the class of 2020, we made it.
Good morning. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Lawren Caldwell, granddaughter of Connie Sifford and daughter of Lawrence Caldwell. It's been a while since I've been here in my home church, but may I say, it is great to be home. In this house of the Lord, Mr. Orr gave me my first singing solo. I accepted Jesus into my heart, and I realized the kind of person I aspired to be. I wanted to use the gifts God gave me to make a positive impact within my communities. I wanted to change the world. In high school, I've had the opportunity to participate in food drives, give blood, collect toys for disadvantaged children, collect hygiene items for community members in need, and advocate for the mental health of African American students. I served in several office positions in many school organizations. I am the president of Key Club, president of the Athletic Leadership Council, executive officer of the JROTC program, and chair captain, to name a few. I've received several honors and accolades as well. I've received the Outstanding Science Student Award and the Thomas Jefferson Book Award. I am recognized as a Bowen STEM Scholar, a Reverend Pickney Scholar, an 1890 Scholar, and a U.S. Presidential Scholar candidate. I accomplished my goal of graduating valedictorian with a 5.12 high school GPA and graduating college with a 3.85 GPA and 2 associate's degrees, an Associates of Arts and an Associates of Science. Through perseverance and having faith in God, I've been blessed to receive over $900,000 in scholarship offers. This upcoming fall, I will be attending the illustrious North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University on a full-ride academic scholarship. I plan to double major in environmental studies and sustainable land and food systems so I can study to become an environmental researcher and activist. I could have not done it without my support system, and even though I am miles away, I know that I will always be loved and supported by my Mount Olive family. I love you, church family, and thank you for everything you have done. I love you.
We certainly praise God for this day. And I just wanted to take a moment to speak to the graduates. I want to say congratulations. Congratulations. However, your journey is just beginning. You'll always be able to look back on this time, your graduating time, and remember the things that we went through as a country and as a society during this time. Now I want to read something from the book of Proverbs. It's how Proverbs, the book, opens up. It says this, Proverbs chapter 1, that men and women may know wisdom and instruction, understand words of insight, receive instruction in wise dealing, righteousness, justice, and equity. And one of the things I'm learning now is that this uprising and everything that we've gone through, I'm now beginning to read even the Bible a little bit more differently. And I want to share this with you, graduates, because again, this is really in many ways the beginning of your journey. It's the closing of one chapter, and it's the beginning of another chapter. And so the book of Proverbs, he says here, the whole goal of what's going to be written in the book afterwards, he talks about that men and women may know wisdom and instruction. And I just believe in my heart, during this time, as we go forward in this new reality, in this new world that we're living in, God is calling men and women to be people of wisdom, to understand words of insight. And so always be teachable. Always be teachable. Regardless of, because it's like going now to college in many ways, it's a clean slate, right? Or leaving college and going out into the world, into whatever career, but wherever you land, make sure that you always remain teachable. No matter how many degrees we have, no matter how many letters are behind our names, we can always learn something from somebody. And so he says this, and this is, I wasn't intending to speak long, but I just wanted to share words of encouragement, share how proud we are of you as a church. But listen to what he says here. He says, receive instruction in wise dealing, righteousness, justice, and equity. And I never noticed that before. That his whole desire is that men and women, after reading the book of Proverbs, after reading the wisdom of Proverbs, that they might leave with this understanding of righteousness, justice, and equity. And so we're living in a time now where social justice is becoming sort of, the word of the day. But as you leave and as you go on, wherever God is calling you in your next steps, may that be a journey of justice. May that be a pursuit of justice. Because God is calling all of us to equip ourselves to be in this fight for justice. But then it also says here, in equity. As God's will that all things be equal. And may you, after graduating, after doing all of this hard work, may you leave and go out into this world and pursue equity for all people. Amen? Amen. To the graduates, God bless you. And again, congratulations to the families. Well done. Well done. You know, graduation, the ceremony itself, is really for the families. For all of their hard work, all the money they've invested, all the mornings they had to wake you up to go to school. Now is the time for them to also participate in this moment. So again, on behalf of Mount Olive, we want to say God bless you, congratulations, and you are part of the family. And if there's anything we can do for you going forward, please let us, your pastor and this session, know. God bless you.